Welcome to biology, my dear student. Today it's our lecture number 13 and we are learning chapter 7, evolution. And in our last lecture we came to know about comparative anatomy and morphological evidence. So we are learning evidence for evolution. So comparative anatomy and morphological evidence, there we came to know about divergent evolution, and related to divergent evolution we came to know a term, that is homologous organs. So which type of organs we will say homologous organ? So homologous organs means what? Their anatomical structure, okay, their origin is same but their function is different. Yes or no? So we have seen that homologous organ, there what happened, their origin or the anatomical structure are same, okay, but their functions are different. Why their functions are different? They seems to be very similar in structure, but what happened, due to adaptation, so they have to adapt to different environmental condition, okay, so for the needs of life they have to adjust. So due to that reason, what happened, we may see divergent evolution, so that structure changes to divergent utilization, because of which that we will call as divergent evolution. So my dear student, in this topic related to comparative anatomy and morphological evidence, today we will learn about convergent evolution. So when we say convergent evolution, okay, so here my dear student, wings of butterfly and of birds look similar. Yes or no? So wings of butterfly, you have seen the butterfly also have wings and birds also have wings, isn't it? So wings of butterfly or birds, in both the cases what happen, wings are used for what purpose? For flying. Yes or no? So wings are meant for the flight. Clear? But have you seen their structures are similar or different? Their structures are different. The origin of the structures are different, but their functions are similar. Yes or no? So they are not anatomically similar structures. So these wings of butterfly and of birds, they look similar, okay, but anatomically they are not similar, though they perform similar functions. Their functions are similar but their anatomical structures are different, okay. So we may say their origin is different but their functions are similar, okay. So hence analogous structures are a result of convergent evolution. So what are analogous organs or analogous structures? So analogous structures or analogous organs means organs, those are not anatomically similar but perform similar functions. They are known as analogous organ, and these analogous organs are the result of convergent evolution, okay. So convergent evolution, what does convergent evolution means? Different structures evolving for the same function, okay. So structures are different but they are evolving for same function and hence having similarity. So when we see a butterfly is flying or a bird is flying, we will see that okay, both are flying, having the same function, okay, but their structures are different. The structure of wings of butterfly is different from that wings of bird, okay, and their origin, if you see, origin is also a different, okay. So this is the meaning of convergent evolution. So convergent evolution, what happened, different structure evolving for same function, okay, and hence having similarity. So my dear student, now let us see some of the example. The eye of the octopus and of mammals, okay. So eye of octopus and of mammals are considered to be as analogous organs. So what are analogous organ? Structures are different, okay. Origin of the organ is different, but their function are similar. Just you keep in mind that analogous organs have same function, but their structures are different, or anatomical structure is different. So eye of octopus is a mollusk. Okay, so it fall under the phylum Mollusca, whereas mammal, it fall under vertebrata. Okay, so both of them have eye, but their structures of eye are different, but they are meant for vision purpose. Okay, they are meant for looking the things. Okay, so we may say that their function is same, but their structures are different. Then another example is the flipper of a whale and fin of a shark. So both used for swimming. So a flipper of a whale, if you have seen the whale, it is very giant, isn't it? So they also have that a flipper. Okay, and whale is considered as what, mammal or fish? This is a question you should ask yourself. So already we have learned about the whale. And shark, what is it? Whether it is fish or mammal. So you ask yourself this question. Then okay, so both of them have fin like structures. Okay, there you will find that they are anatomically they are different structures, but both of the structures are used for what purpose? Swimming purpose. Though they use for swimming purpose. As a result, we will feel that both are moving with the help of that fins, but when we go more closer, their structures are different. Okay, now another plants example, let us see sweet potato. So sweet potato is considered as root modification. That means sweet potato is the origin is from root. Okay, and potato is that origin is from stem. So both of them origin is different. See here, origin is different, but sweet potato as well as the potato are meant for storage of food. Both are what is the purpose of them? What is the function? To store food. So they have the same function, but their origin is different. Okay, so when we see this all example, we came to know that structures are different, but what happened, they shows that evolution to show same function. Okay, so because of which this is known as convergent evolution. So different structure, they converge towards to show same function. Okay, so I hope that you have understood. So these are some of the thing that we have learned in comparative anatomy and morphological evidence. So I hope that you have understood this. So these are some evidence that shows that some organism, their origin are same. So if origin is same, then we may find some of the evidence related to evolution. Okay, so my dear student, evidence for evolution, number C is embryological evidence. So there are some evidence related to embryo. Okay, so you know what is embryo? So when male gamete and female gamete fuse together, that activity we will call fertilization. So after fertilization, what happens? Zygote is formed. Okay, so from zygote, what happen in future? We will get embryo, and we may say that embryo is a we can say mass of cells that shows life. Okay, so we can say from that zygote itself the life formation starts. So embryo is a formation from that zygote. Okay, now let us see that embryological evidence, what does it convey us? So my dear student, Ernest Haeckel proposed this evolution based on observation of certain common features during embryonic stage of all vertebrates but absent in adult. So Ernest Haeckel, he proposed this evolution. So on the basis of what? Observation of certain common features during embryonic stage. So during the embryonic stage of all the vertebrates, okay, he finds certain common features. So common feature, for example, you will find in your book that they are talking about the embryo of human being, embryo of salamander, embryo of fish. Okay, so all this embryo, okay, at the embryonic stage we are not able to differentiate, okay, whether which one is human and which one is of salamander, which one is of fish, which one is of the chicken. Okay, all seems to be common. Okay, but this stage become different at the adult stage. So when they reach the adult stage, from the embryonic stage, what happened? They shows different structures, and that similar character transform into dissimilar. Okay, so this was observed by Ernest Haeckel. Then, my dear student, all vertebrate embryos, including human embryo, develop a row of vestigial gill slit just behind the head. So, it is said that including a human being, all the vertebrate during their embryonic stage, they develop a vestigial gill slit, okay, just behind the head. It is seen that it is a functional organ only in fish, but in later stage what happen, this disappear due to the passage of time, and in different embryonic stage what happen, only it remain in fishes and other in human being also we don't find gill. So gills are not found in any adult vertebrates, only in fish. Clear? So from this we can say that at some stage of life what happened, the origin, okay, or the ancestor are same. That means all look similar. So from this we can say that somehow the organism might have appeared from or have evolved from one to the next. So this may be an evident, okay. The embryonical evidence was disproved by Carl von Bohr. So this evidence of Ernest Haeckel was disproved by this Carl von Bohr on the basis of careful study performed by him. He noted that the similarities in embryos never pass through the adult stage of other animals. So he did careful experiment and he did careful study, and he has noted that the similarities in embryos never pass through the adult stage of other animals, because of which this embryonical evidence was disproved. So he showed that only in the embryonic stage only what happened, these similarities are seen, but at the adult stage these similarities are absent. So this was not approved. So my dear student, these are certain evidence related to evolution. So I hope that you have understood, and these are the three evidence we came to know. Number one is paleontological evidence, number second the comparative anatomy and morphological evidence, then number three we have learned about embryological evidence. Okay, so my dear student, with this we end up here with evidence for evolution. So thank you and have a good day.